This is the magicwordpodcast.com.
Bonjour, this is Scott Wells for the magicwordpodcast.com. Well, I think that's about the extent of my French with bonjour, and probably not even a good pronunciation. But I thought it was appropriate to start this episode since this is called From Paris with Love. That is the city of love, and I certainly love it. It was wonderful. Well, let's move on across the pond all the way over to France and begin Le Tour de France. To begin with, we had made plans to go to Le Double Fond, which is where Alexandra Duvivier and her father, Dominique Duvivier, perform regularly and have been for, well, he's been there for decades. And anyhow, I had a chance to see their show. It was quite an interesting experience since I, again, don't speak any French, and everything had taken place in French. And the show itself was in this little quaint place. It was a little kind of a cafe, and then you go downstairs, down the stone stairway. You feel like you're kind of stepping back in time, quite literally, because it has been there for so many years. And it's just a stone dungeon, basically, down there, seated about 50 people, and it was very tight. And we enjoyed the presentation by Dominique and his daughter, Alexandra. And then afterwards, we went back upstairs into the cafe, and while they were cleaning up and getting everything all picked up from their show, Alexandra came up, and Dominique as well, and I chatted with them briefly, and then turned on the recorder to speak with Alexandra. And she's delightful. If you haven't had a chance to meet her or see her, I would again recommend, as I always do, is to go to themagicwordpodcast.com, where we have additional information, more content, and you can see a video there where she was on Penn and Teller Fool Us, as well as some other things that she has done. And spoiler alert, yes, she did fool Penn and Teller with her father's trick, which was called Cards in Bag, or CIB, and it's a great trick, very, very cool trick. I have that myself. In fact, he had gifted that to me since it was my birthday, and so I thank you very much, Dominique, and also a couple of DVDs that he had given me then as well. By the way, I think it's pretty important to mention that Trixie Bond was joining me on this conversation. She and her husband, Mark Axford, were along with Dick Olson, who is another magician from Houston, Texas here, and so we were all at the Le Double Fond. But Trixie joins me in the conversation we have then with Alexandra, and she's got a lot of really important things to discuss, woman to woman, I guess. So I kind of stepped out of the way a little bit to let that conversation happen. I'm so glad that Trixie was there for this conversation that added so much more insight to our conversation. Really enjoyed the show, enjoyed the conversation, and I hope that you do then too. We're going to have 3 different conversations. The first is with Alexandra, beginning with Alexandra Duvivier, here on The Magic Word.
That's true.
We are here in Paris, France, with Alexandra Duvivier.
Hey,
there she is.
Scott! Yes, we're in Paris.
That's right. Last time you and I chatted on the podcast over here was back in Buffalo many years ago. Exactly.
Buffalo.
You're saying it right, not Buffalo.
Yeah, I am trying to pronounce correctly. I love the American accent, but it's tough for me to just not to sound too Frenchy.
I'm here also then with Trixie Bond, another magician, female magician. Hello, Trixie.
Hey, Scott.
And also, you were just asking an interesting question. You were saying, because we're here tonight, actually, of course, your father only speaks French, and so he's not here with us right now. He was momentarily earlier, and had a fantastic show that we just saw. And we really enjoyed it. You had an interesting question. Go ahead, Trixie. Ask again. You were saying?
I was asking Alexandra, did your father share secrets with you? Did he teach you?
Yeah, in fact, at the beginning, when I started magic, I was 15 years old, and I kept asking him, show me a trick. One day, he just gave me a book that he wrote in the 70s, and he said, okay, you want to learn tricks? Learn. Work by yourself. So I worked by myself, and when he saw that, now he helped me, and he just it helped me through my career. So yes, he explained me many tricks now, and we share everything. He has no secrets anymore for me. So that's a beautiful relationship.
Right. My dad said, go look it up.
He said the same thing.
Same thing to me.
Yeah, sure.
Go
and
look it up.
It's a good attitude because it's builds you. It makes you look for something, and you don't have everything, already to, like, food to go, trick to go.
Right.
You see what I mean? So it's a good school, I think.
Do you think that people today, now back then, Trixie, you and Alexandra both did not have videotapes and DVDs and YouTube to study?
No internet.
And I've never seen another woman perform until I was 10 years old and saw Celeste Evans.
Celeste Evans. How about you?
Well, but for me, it was, I never see a female magician performing until I was 15. And when I went to FISM in 1988, I saw Lisa Mena. And she blew my mind. And she's a friend still, so I feel so lucky to have met her and that she made that click. So I was able to identify myself, because I've only seen men doing magic, and it's tough for a lady to just try to say, I can do that too.
You know who the first magician Lisa Mena saw?
No.
Me.
C'est génial! I love that story. Oh la 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 la! Lisa is just such an inspiration. Yeah, she's a beautiful lady. Yeah. She's clever, and she doesn't play on the fact that she's a female and show that.
No. It was no big deal back then. I mean, you just fit in.
Ouais. That's great. It's a circle, I love it.
Yeah, she's wonderful, and she's from Texas also.
Texas,
yeah, that's where
great.
Yeah.
And you've done magic all your life long. Now that you have done a PhD, now you told me that you have a PhD.
A PhD, we both have,
yeah. From
4F convent. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
You have a master's, bachelor's. How many times you performed?
No, I've done once.
Just the master, bachelor.
I feel unlucky this time because it was my first time. Then, COVID.
Yeah.
Oh.
And voila, and now I'm going back in April 22, but it's not going to be the same, even if Obi will be still here by his spirit, his energy. But it's another.
But it was a thrill for me to see you perform with your dad. It was so touching and fun.
Everything.
I didn't understand anything.
Completely French,
but
exactly.
magic was the common thread there. The rice bowls were beautiful. And the cups and balls.
Right.
We knew you were doing a prediction. I could understand a little bit of the
any card, any number.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And it was so much fun. I was so jealous you get to perform with your father.
Well, but effectively, it's a luck, and I feel really fortunate to be able to work with him. But he thought from the beginning. We started working together in 1999, and he had on his mind that he always tried to find the good partner. Because when you are two on stage, you can express so much more things than when you're only one. So it matched when we worked together, and from 1999 we never stopped. So yes, and we just get along. We have the same way of thinking about magic, which is important. Because if we were just interested in just, I am the best, I do this, no, I am the best, I do that. What is important for us is the show. The show must go on, the show is important, not us.
Exactly, and you were each other's other hand, which was so cool.
Well, and that allows us, because we are two, to do things that we can't do with only two hands. We have effectively two hands, but two different hands from two different bodies.
Right.
So that's challenges that we can't do when you're only one-to-one, one with yourself.
So what did you call that ending piece where you had the mannequin in between?
We call it Naomi, because we give her a name, Naomi. Naomi Campbell, like Naomi Campbell, Naomi. Mm-hmm. Because she's so beautiful, that we can't stop looking at her, and she is doing the trick. We are not doing it.
Right.
She is performing it. So we had a dream like that,
Very clever, and also again the interaction with the audience. That although we can't speak French and didn't understand,
they were laughing.
That's the point. The interaction it was the effect that you got to. It was not, and then it was a mystery then as well. But the journey was so much fun that we could tell everyone was engaged.
You know what? I think that magic is only a mean of communication. So I happen to do magic, you happen to do magic, but it's by luck that we do magic. But the most important thing is just to have a good moment with the audience, just to make them forget the COVID thing, for instance. It was cool. Yeah. Oh, too bad.
Exactly.
Well, it's to have fun together, to play together a game. I think that's so much important than the magic trick.
Yeah, I could tell you were the audience was totally engaged with you and your dad and the repertoire between both of you. And the costume changes. Good heavens, how many costume changes did you have?
Yes, you're running back and forth.
But you know, that's interesting to put colors.
And your father, too, had a costume change.
Yeah, voilà. I have to say that my dad changed his costume, which is really rare because he only dressed in black.
In black.
Yeah,
he and Max Maven.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, that's fun. You know, it's part of the show to have fun. So let's get dressed differently. That's part of the fun, yeah.
It was very funny the way he was dressed up in a jester's hat and different kinds of costumes were funny.
Yeah, my dad is that kind of people.
Yeah.
Just, staying very poker face and having the most craziness costume on him. Outfits with fury, I know. That's good. I like that.
I couldn't pick up his sense of humor, but it must be very dry.
And witty. My dad is really, like I said, poker face.
Okay.
And it's a match. We just, how do you say when you... He's a man, I'm a woman. We are, we just...
compliment each other.
Merci, compliment. Voilà, I don't know if it was working in English. Compliment, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a good duo like this. Mm-hmm. It works.
Now, this is a wonderful venue you got here now with a bar, and is it a restaurant or just couture?
Yeah, in fact, you can have a dinner here because you can order a few days earlier, but we have a caterer and we eat like tapas food, but different thing, Frenchy, not Spanish, but a tapas thing
small pieces.
Exactly, because we don't have the room enough to have a kitchen, so we have a caterer, and this is a way of having a dinner and then a show.
Well, it's a terrific venue, and I just loved seeing the room with people laughing, having a good time,
right.
And
they're anxious to get back out here.
Oh my gosh, the whole world is anxious for this. The world does need your magic.
Oh, you're so nice. I wanted to say it in French, but merci, t'es gentil. It's really so nice from you. I just take it from a beautiful compliment. Merci.
So how long has this been open?
33 years.
No.
33 years. Wow.
Your dad has been doing magic here for 33 years?
Oui, exactly. My dad is doing magic since 1972.
Right here?
Right here. It never changed places here. But my dad is somebody who is completely dedicated to magic. He thinks, he knows for sure in his heart that magic is an art. So it has to be recognized like that.
I was watching the video prior to the show, and you teach a magic class, and it's now recognized by the French government.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yes,
this is so cool.
Talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
Well, but this is such a proud, how would you say, proudness?
Yes.
Proudness, because it took 5 years of work here, because, paperwork here is very tough. But we are the first in France, but we are the first in the world to be able to give a diploma. Bac plus 2, so it's a 2-year diploma degree, which is great for the recognition of the art of magic. Now in France, that, of course, already, because David Copperfield and so many more in the States are just famous, stars, but we don't have that here in France. So that's great to show that magic is serious, magic is a real job, and that you can live from being a magician.
Make a living from that, actually.
Exactement.
So,
exactly, making a living from it.
Well, the United States doesn't even recognize magic as an art form for, say, Commission of the Arts in Texas.
Really?
No, but we're working to change that.
I hope so.
So we recognize it as a true performing art, just like ballet and
ballet,
what's
opera. It is an art.
Voilà, exactly. Mais bien sûr, of course it is, because that's
French
what
are ahead of us.
The French are way ahead of us on that. Yeah.
My dad always thought that magic is an art and should be recognized such as an art. So now we are very, very proud and very happy that finally, in the land of Robert Houdin, we are the first to open a way, to open a field, so you can follow. Everybody can follow, have a degree of being a magician. That's great. Everybody should have that.
And have there been a lot of people who have been following and doing that?
Alors, for the moment, no, we are the only one in France, here at the Double Fond, the only one to do that.
Okay.
And
you have a lot of other people now. It's not just you and your father who are performing here. And we just happened, by the way, we were here tonight because Boris Wilde was saying that Dominique was going to be here. So we want to make sure it's Friday night. Because you're here regularly, I guess, and then others are...
Of course, we have Boris, who is a close friend for many years. He's performing here. Also also David Stone, Gaëtan Bloom, of course. I do shows all by myself, I am told now, and many more. So yes, we have a team like this.
They're about like a 90-minute show, basically.
Ouais, c'est ça. 90-minute show, just like you say. And one of the best compliments I have been said after one of my show is, "Wow, but you are a comedian. You're a comic. How do you say comedian?
Comedian.
Yeah.
Comedian, but stand-up comic. You know, stand-up comedy.
Stand-up comedy.
That's great because yes, I do magic, but this is not my. I just want to say I'm a magician. You know, I just want to have fun and have a good time with people.
Well, you have a nice personality, nice smile, and you also, like a stand-up comedy, has different what we call mugging. You're kind of with your faces and everything,
right.
so you have different looks and what you're doing, your stances, so that you have good body language.
When we are lucky enough, and you know what I mean, to have people in front of us and not a screen in front of us, you know, I mean, that's great. That's golden nugget.
Right.
Because, they want to interact. I just push them so they can tell me things and I want to respond because it's so much fun.
Oh, I could tell she was playing off the audience.
Oh, sure.
She'd laugh and she'd say something.
Say something, the improvisational, right.
Even though I didn't understand what was going on.
They were enjoying it, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It was going back and forth just so beautifully. Now, how long have you actually been performing here? If he's been doing it since the 70s, then when did you actually come and join this?
I started my first shows, it was, only one trick in the show of my dad, but we were not doing a duo yet. In 1991, 1993, like this, but I was, in fact, one of my handicap, if I can say so, is I am very shy.
No.
Right.
No, but I know, voila. When I say that now, I'm not, you can't believe me. It's not believable, but trust me, when I was beginning, I was blushing, saying hi to somebody was just a stress. Having an audience in front of me was just painful. Now, a spectator told me just going out of the show, he said, "Oh, you have just blown away because you have fun with the audience." And I say yes, because now I'm not frightened by the audience anymore. For a long time, of course, but it took me years to practice, to experience.
You just mature with what you're doing magically, and then you work on the entertainment value. And
yes,
she's got it all.
That's
true.
what appeals me the most. Entertaining.
Now, I noticed also, it looked like the videos they were showing to begin with, that you do a lot of things as far as like corporate training and things. So,
but I'm sure you do the same.
We do.
Corporate is huge. Like in the States, I mean.
Yeah.
So it's maybe, let's say, 70% of our activity here at the Double Fond is with corporate events. So yeah, that's what I love about magic, is that you don't do twice the same thing. Because you don't have the same audience anymore. And no, you do close-up here, you do table hopping there, no, you do one-man show here, no, you do a lesson here because they want to learn some tricks. It's only different. And what I love about magic also is that art is an art that feed with other arts. So you just put in magic what you just want to express. So that's a beautiful art.
Sorry, I'm swallowing some of this delicious.
It's okay, I'm so sorry.
Avadors?
No, Calvados.
Cavados. I like
Made
it.
with
brandy.
apple.
Yeah.
It's a bit strong. It's a men's drink. And women.
Well, I like it.
Good for this time of
women
night.
like it
And
too.
women like it too.
It makes some holes in the body. You're going
Now,
to see well.
how about trade shows? Do they do a lot of trade shows and everything like we do in the States as far as...
Well, exactly.
Some
We have-
convention centers in Paris.
We have
I just wondered how active they
trade
hire
shows,
magicians to
gigs,
here.
table hopping at the end of the evening.
Like hospitality suites or nothing.
Yes,
or kind
yes. We do nearly exactly the same things.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Oh, well. No very big difference. Except the audience. The American audience is the best in the world because you scream and shout and applause and. But here we are very lucky too at the Double Fond because they come and see magic. So.
Yes, I've heard that the French were reserved, but they were applauding and clapping. Well, that's
They were
the
very
same
much
thing.
into it, just like you were at a comedy club. They were-
Exactly.
yeah.
I saw no difference.
No.
Here.
No.
Glad.
Well, again, it's like at the Magic Castle when people come to see magic, actually. They come with an expectation they know they're getting magic as opposed to walking into a restaurant or going by a trade show. It's like people walking up to you or passing by and say, what's this guy doing? I think if they come here, they're expecting to have fun.
Well, besides the fact that you're completely right, Scott, but the thing is when you have corporates here, because it just private all the Double Fond, they don't expect magic. So they come here, but they don't know where they are coming because the boss said tonight it's here. So they have to follow the move, and that's the best audience because they don't want to see magic at first, and after they are saying, "Wow, this is crazy, this is fun. I didn't see magic like that." So that's.
I noticed also as people are leaving that they were given cards so this way that they can tag you and put it on Facebook and Twitter and other places, kind of, so that way you are big in social media to try to let people know about it.
But it's I'm almost. I'm sorry, my English is and I didn't drink Calvad also. I am almost 50 years old and I am a very hard time with social media, so I am forcing myself to just say Instagram. But for me it's tough because this is not my generation, so I have to to fit and try to look young.
And you do. I think she's accomplished that.
Yes, she does. She's beautiful.
Young and beautiful. Yes, that's exactly right.
Stop it, Scott.
No, don't stop it, Scott. Thank you very much. It's a big pleasure having you all tonight.
Now downstairs, this is interesting that we kind of walk through this, and going down the steps, it's like going into a dungeon or something. And once we're down there, it's like the gallery, the close-up gallery at the castle.
That's exactly right. It's like
got the lighting and the sound and everything. It's great.
Yeah. We have a screen so we can see the close-ups when you don't see the index of the cards, and that's pretty handy.
And you've got a screen above the close-up table. How many people were seated in there this evening?
50.
50.
Not one more. 50 at the most.
Right.
It's a small.
And it seems like that. Obviously, I guess that it's booked all the time. I mean, people book in advance, and so this has been something that's been obviously ongoing and it's taken a while. But you have a clientele, which mostly are locals. They're not, since it is in French. You don't really advertise, I guess, like to the hotels and tourists who speak English.
We do that, but effectively it's a mix of audiences because we do have locals, like you said, but also we have people like in the south of France that for vacation they come in Paris, so they make maybe 600 kilometers. For you, I know it's nothing because everything is huge in the States, but for us,
it's across town in Houston.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they come and see.
Traffic's horrible. Oh, the traffic! Oh my goodness! Yeah,
this is crazy. I know, and I apologize for that because this is a nightmare for us.
Coming up to Champs-Élysées and the taxi driver. My goodness. I thought you were going to jump out of the window, Trixie.
Well, I was squeezed in between the two of you. How could I? But the other bicycles and the motorscooters were 2 inches from our taxi.
And beeping
Cutting across 16 lanes and roundabouts, right?
Yeah, especially around the Arc de Triomphe.
So Alexandra, do you live close here?
Oh, oui. I live I have 5 kilometers of highway. And I am in the very near suburbs of Paris. So I have a house with a garden, dogs. You can't have that in Paris. It's impossible.
Do you have children?
2.
2.
My 2 most beautiful miracles on earth.
How old are they?
They are almost 13 and almost 10.
Now, so, when I was young, my children... Well, they helped me do some shows, but never wanted to do this. How about yours?
Écoute, for the moment, I just leave them alone. And when they feel like asking me, I am here to respond. But I don't want to influence them like my dad done for me.
Right.
So I let them come if they want. But for the moment, they have some tricks, but they don't do shows. Huh? That sucks, like you would say.
Yeah. I think my children's friends like that I do magic more than my own children.
That's right.
That's true. But my daughter, when I do magic, she says she's so proud of having a mother being a magician. So for the moment, she's 10, so that's why. It won't last long, but yeah.
Mine are 40, and now they really appreciate
So as yours get older, I think they'll appreciate it more, too.
Yeah. I hope so.
I can't believe I was a child, 40 years old, but... Between 40 and 37.
Sometime is
well, same with me. Both my boys were interested in it, and my younger one actually was working then with Brian Brushwood as an intern for a while, and learned to do fire reading and all that. But they're like mine's 40 and 43 also.
So I have 6 grandchildren, another one on the way, and when the first one was born, I wanted the kids to call me Magie, which is magic in French. But no, I am Grandma. But they call me Grandma Magic. That's my name.
Grandma Magic.
Nice.
So
That's cute.
oh my, they should call me.
You haven't thought
Magie.
about that yet, have you?
No. Stop that, Yen. I prefer when you were saying I was nice and
beautiful. Well, you are.
and
young.
Change subject. No, not yet. It will come, but I have a little bit of time. Huh?
But it's a thought process for women in the entertainment industry, correct? Because they don't want a 70-year-old lady performing.
That's why Lisa Mena is so smart.
She did the old lady
Mamma Mia, Mamma Magic. I think it is brilliant.
And now she's doing the helping women in third world countries through magic.
Right.
That's so Lisa. So Lisa-like, because she's beautiful.
Lisa-like. It is very Lisa-like, yeah.
American speaking. Yeah, it's because she's a beautiful human being. And, it's really her. And I really love her. I can't say more. I love you, Lisa.
So as far as the downstairs and preparing all this was something that, does your dad own this, or?
Yes.
It's okay.
He bought that 33 years ago. I don't know in English how you say, but he bought the walls and the thing to make the exploitation. I don't know, but we have it. We own it.
I was wondering about that, or whether he owned it or leased it. Actually, everything. Okay, so it's been that long. Does he live upstairs?
No.
Do you rent upstairs?
No, it's not ours. Here, if you want to live, you should be millionaire. It's crazy. It's very expensive, this area. 30 years ago, it was, nobody was there because it was not a fashion area. Now it's untouchable.
Does he own upstairs then?
No.
Okay. So he just owns
here.
the downstairs.
We own that, and we own the shop, Mayette Magie, which is the oldest shop in the world, because some historian made some research, 1808.
Wow.
You don't look at me the same way now. Really true.
So that was the magic shop that we were thinking about a little bit earlier, that one of the oldest magic. And is that on the street level or down below, or where?
No, it's on street level.
Okay, that's
it's
nearby?
across the River Seine.
Yeah.
It's around Le Panthéon. Have you seen the Panthéon? Where you have very famous people buried. Panthéon is a big building, beautiful. Victor Hugo is there, many famous people.
Years ago.
Okay. Long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
Voilà.
We need to go back and watch.
It's very close from here. I will ask that we show you where it is, okay?
But the Museum of Magic is over there too?
Just across the corner. It's a very... We are neighbors.
We could walk.
Oui. Definitively.
They're not open now.
It's Rue Saint-Paul. No, it's closed now. Too late.
Yeah, we're going to be going tomorrow. I think Boris is taking us.
We're risking our lives in a taxi.
Again, yes, we are.
Oh, you can... it depends where you are, but yes.
We're staying near the Arc Triumph at the Renaissance. Renaissance?
So you need to take your time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So it's about a half-hour or so drive through there.
Scott, I am so sorry. I have to clean up my things downstairs because I threw my things backstage, and now it's a bit a mess.
Well, she's got a ton of props to clean up.
Yes, she does.
And it was a beautiful show. It was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun.
It was such a blast having you. Thank you for your words.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Scott,
before you leave, the main of my podcast, called the Magic Word Podcast. So what is your phrase? What is important to you? What's your, your philosophy of life?
My philosophy of life is just to enjoy, because life is very short, that you should share magic with the biggest amount of people, because we all need magic.
Yeah, we all need magic. That's true. Well, thank you, and thank your father, Dominique. We appreciate you coming and sharing your time and your magic and everything. It's just been fabulous. And so,
my pleasure.
Yeah, we'll see you
meet again in April.
Yes, we will. Oh, well, maybe February.
February,
but,
yes.
We shouldn't have said that.
Magic Castle. Don't say anything.
Okay. So the Magic Word Podcast. Right. That was Alexandra Duvivier. This is Scotty out.
Merci.
Thank you, Alexandra, for your words and for taking the time to share your thoughts with us here on the Magic Word Podcast. And please express our appreciation to your father as well, and good luck for continued success with Le Double Fond. And I certainly recommend that when visitors go to Paris, they make it a point to go by Le Double Fond to see this amazing show. Even if you're not working there or your father's not working there, you have other people who are performing as well, like David Stone and Boris Wilde and others. And speaking of David Stone, let's continue our tour of Paris by going over to a quaint little bistro where we go inside and sit and have a delightful chat with David Stone, where he tells us about his new character